Recording in progress.
Ready? Can we go ahead, everybody? Chalo. So we have already just now finished time of supply. है ना? All of you. So let us also quickly also finish now value of supply. Again, a very small chapter comparatively. Okay? But important thing is what it tells you. Important thing what it tells you is that on what amount we are going to charge tax. On what amount we are going to charge tax. That is what your value of supply. Okay, everybody? So just now I gave you example of the restaurant. In the last lecture I gave you example that a restaurant charges 1,000 rupees as a bill, food bill, and they may also add service charge, है ना? So GST बच्चों will be levied on all the amount, है ना? 1,000 rupees of the food bill plus service charge, whatever they may have added. On that also GST is applicable. Okay. Fine till here? Alright. So just a simple examples that what all we have to include. Okay, everybody? What all we have to include and what all we can exclude. These things we have to understand. Okay. Now what all we can exclude is again simple. Any kind of discount which is predetermined. Predetermined means agreed beforehand. Agreed beforehand. That we can remove. On that we are not going to charge any kind of tax. Clear to all of you? So that we are going to understand in this chapter. Okay. So time of supply section 12 and 13 done. Okay, everybody. Now let's go to value of supply. Chalega? Alright. So GST is payable on goods or services for a consideration in the course or furtherance of business. This we have already covered in the chapter of supply. Yeah? On certain supplies, that means obviously taxable supplies made without and on certain supplies made without consideration, which is schedule 1 also we have covered. That also we have covered. Schedule 1. Okay. GST is an ad valorem duty. Basically at a you can say prescribed percentage. Okay. It is bachcho generally called as prescribed percentage. Okay. It is ad valorem bachcho first time we had seen in the chapter of charge in Companies Act. Everybody? When there was additional duty to be paid for delay in the registration of charge. Anyways, come back here. So GST is ad valorem duty that is levied on percentage of the value of the goods and or services. Okay. Yes, normal fees, additional fees and ad valorem fees we had in charge chapter. Okay. So whenever you have this word ad valorem, it is what? As a percentage of value. What is ad valorem? At percentage of value. Okay. So the thing is, how do we arrive at this value of supply? Okay, everybody? Chalega? Section 15. Okay? Of the CGST Act, and along with its rules, we have to understand the value of supply. Understand? Check here now. 15.1. The first subsection of 15, okay? Talks about what? Provides a mechanism for determining the value of supply. Pay attention, value of supply, which is made between unrelated persons. Unrelated, okay? Not even distinct persons, or any kind of relationship should not be there. You can call it as a third party or stranger, and when price and only price is the sole consideration for the supply. Basically, the transfer is happening against price and nothing else. Okay. When value cannot be determined, and also certain specific cases, then we have to use the CGST, determination of values of supply rules. If we cannot find it out as per 15.1, then we have to take help of the rules. So let us quickly go through. Have we finished, or we had done the concept of consideration? Yes or no? We had done na bachcho, correct na? Consideration was anything in return, है ना? Clearly, whether in cash or in kind. Yes, Lilia? But does not include any kind of subsidy given by the government. That is not part of the consideration. All right, all of you, Lilia? This also had covered, by the way. Check if you remember. A deposit given is not a supply. Hi now. If at all I receive a deposit, that is not my income, and that is not treated as supply. But there was again an exception to that. unless I use that deposit as an application towards supply. Means what? That which income I you always give you for that? Landlord and tenant. है ना? Landlord receives deposit, so the deposit amount is not a supply. But if he says, the landlord says or the tenant says, use the deposit as rent in the last 1 month or 2 months, then here I am applying the deposit towards supply. In that case, that deposit bachcho will be the income, or that will be the value of supply. है ना? Remember that we have covered that twice, thrice now, in income from house property also and here also. Okay. Chalo. So this was covered in the chapter of supply. Okay, everybody. Consider can be past, present, or future. That also was there. Okay. Traveler check little bit example I had given you in case of what, bacho? Negotiable instruments. Okay. MO money order, bacho, happens today also very rarely, but in post office. The money order was again a concept of transferring money from one village to another village throughout India through post office. Just you used to go and deposit cash or money in post office, and the branch of that post office used to deliver cash or give cash to the recipient. Anyways, can we go ahead, everybody? Other relevant definitions like that, recipient, that we are going to see. So 15. So most important now, I mean the important section for us, 15, value of supply. Ready? See, as it is on CGST website, okay, there is that GST website we had also seen. If you click on law or anywhere over there, there are in income tax and MCA also I should show you but act, how to find act. So which act are we doing? CGST act. So again, similarly on GST common portal, you will be able to see the CGST act itself. So you can make a list and write down all the section numbers. Clear till here, all of you? Chalo, value of supply. If you get time today, please read at least once the Bare Act. As it is in the process of income tax, GST, companies that we have read the law lots of times in its bare language. It's always good, but to read it as it is. Ready? Chalo. The CGST law has different provisions for determining value of supply. Okay, in the following cases. Supply is made solely for a price in money consideration. 2. Unrelated persons. Now, why this word unrelated is so important? Because if at all, I am selling to, let us say Nitin is my friend, let us say. So I may tell him, and this happens also. You might have seen many times, bacho, that a vendor or a supplier or a seller says, if you want bill, then 10% extra, or 15% extra, or 18% extra. Hi, Anna. If you don't want bill, then I will give you at so and so amount. This happens generally, bacho, at Xerox shops, and a photocopy. Why? Because when you're going to get bills, then he has to show it, declare it, and pay GST on the same, or collect it from you. But moreover than that, even if tax invoice is given, tax invoice, but if the recipient is my relative, or the recipient bacho is my related party, or I know the recipient, the buyer, I can tell him to reduce the invoice value. Means what? Supplier and buyer. Let us say the value before tax is of 1 lakh. Whatever supply is of happening is of 1 lakh. Okay, everybody? But invoice bacho, I can tell the buyer, let us do one thing. What? Let us make invoice of 80,000 only. What advantage bacho? Both of them have. The buyer has advantage of not paying tax on 20,000 extra. Clear till here? Buyer has advantage of not paying tax on 20,000. That is his saving. What is the advantage of supplier? Income tax also and GST also. GST but obviously output tax is reduced. And automatically therefore even income tax is also reduced. Clear till here, everybody? Done, everybody? So that is the reason they should be unrelated. Okay, but supply is made solely for non-monetary consideration, solely for non-monetary. Okay, barter, or for part monetary and part non-monetary. Your exchange, I'll write an example, बच्चों. Example, mobile or washing machine exchange. Remember, let us write down TV. Have you heard or no? You get 1,000 or 5,000 rupees for your old mobile or TV. So that time you are paying the entire amount through cash and little bit amount in kind. Clear or no? है ना? तो supply is made बच्चों only by barter system or by part cash and part goods. Okay. For them बच्चों we have separate rules. Okay. ठीक है. Subsection 4 and 5 we will see that. चलेगा? This also which we had seen. Who are related persons? We had seen that बच्चों. Check that again. Persons, including legal persons, will be deemed as related persons if they are directors or officers in each other's business. This we had covered. Or they are बच्चों partners in the same business. Or they are partners in some of the business. Though such person are employer-employee. Yes, we have covered this. Okay. Third person controls directly or indirectly at least 25% in both of them. One of them controls another, holding subsidiary. A third person बच्चों controls both of them, so they are fellow subsidiary. They together बच्चों control some third party. Same members of the family. So this also we had seen बच्चों members of the family. And one of them is the sole agent or distributor of another. Okay. Fine. Let's come to the first subsection 15.1. Ready everybody? Supplies to unrelated persons where price is the sole consideration. Okay everybody? How are you selling the goods बच्चों? Against cash only. Price. To whom? Unrelated person. Okay? Pay attention. Where transaction of supply of goods or services is made between two persons, okay, who are not related. Clear till here? And price is the sole consideration. Yes, till here? So what all? Unrelated person supply, price is the sole consideration. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Unrelated supply, unrelated parties are unrelated, and what is the consideration? Price is the only determining factor. No relation, nothing else. Okay? Then the value of supply बच्चों is called as transaction value. Value of supply is बच्चों called as transaction value. Okay, everybody? So, the transaction value which is applicable between the unrelated persons where price is the sole concern for supply is the transaction value. Check here. The price actually paid or payable for the said supply of goods and or services or both. The price paid or payable. So basically you're in a way, if the parties are unrelated, if the parties are what? Unrelated, then what is the amount involved over here? Okay. The price paid or payable. Fine till here all of you? This is the price for the specific supply that is being valued. It includes the amount already paid at the time of supply is being valued for tax, as well as the amount payable and not yet paid at that time. The word payable refers to the price that is agreed to be paid. That is okay. Can we go ahead? Chalo. Wholesale price of 1 metric ton of cement sold by X Limited in the ordinary course of business is 7,000. Okay. Price of 1 metric ton of cement sold by X Limited to unrelated customer 6,700. That is completely okay. हाँ ना बच्चों? Because here look at the amount. Wholesale, whatever they have given in the ordinary course of business, 7,000. But bachcho, if the customer is unrelated and the exchange is price only, okay, so value of supply is bachcho 6,700, with the price actually paid or payable and not the wholesale price. The department cannot dictate, okay, the department cannot dictate the price at which the supplier should sell. Clear till here? But if they find out they were related parties, then they will say the transaction is not at arm's length price. Remember arm's length price now, all of you? Bolo. So look at the wordings. Supplies between unrelated persons and price is the only consideration. Pay attention. What am I saying? Supplies between unrelated persons and price is the only consideration. The value supplies but your transaction value. And what is transaction value? Price actually paid or payable by the customer. Hi Anna. Clear till here? So even if you are selling at discount, nobody can stop you, isn't it? Yes, Ilya? Star mark this. है ना? The value of taxable supply of goods and services shall ordinarily be transaction value. What is transaction value? When the price paid or payable, when the parties are not related and the price is the only consideration. That means nothing else you are getting in exchange. You're getting only the price. Okay? For example, transaction value shall not include discount allowed subject to certain conditions. That don't get unnecessarily confused in the examples. We'll do the examples properly. Check now. 15.2 important. 15.1 what is the most important word? Transaction value. Clearly here, all of you? And how do you arrive at transaction value? Supplies between unrelated persons and price is the only consideration. Clear? Now what will we include or exclude? That is the only now point remaining in this chapter. That's it. Yes, everybody? The value supply includes certain elements. Value. Are we increasing or decreasing the value, bacho? Increasing means what? Increasing. Our tax liability is increasing. Or you can say your department is increasing the value of supply. Clear till here? है ना? Bulb wala. No. Forget this line. Only keep this part. Transaction value is what? Parties are not related and price is the only consideration. Okay. Remaining things we are either is going to see now. What all we are going to include or exclude. Okay. Don't worry about that. Check. The value of supply includes certain elements which are given below. Pay attention. Taxes, duties, cesses, fees, charges. Other than GST, if charged separately. Example, let me give an example. Landlord, okay? So he says rent, okay? Rent is your figure, that amount they have decided. You say, I am also going to recover, pay attention, property tax from you. You said, you agreed with the tenant. Okay, that is just an agreement between the landlord and the tenant. Property tax. Now, property tax is levied. I'm purposely using the word property tax or municipal tax, same thing. Practically, it may not happen. Nobody will agree for that. But I'm just saying. The reason I'm giving you example because this is also a tax. But my value of supply will be just rent or plus property tax. It will be plus property tax. Understood or no? Clear to all of you? ठीक है? So this is important. Any kind of fees, charges, transportation charges, insurance charges, testing charges, anything clearly here will be, or any kind of fees or charges also added. When you take a cab or you take a transport vehicle, for rent for 1 day or 2 days. What are the fees decided? Transport vehicle means tourist vehicle. You understand a tourist vehicle? You've taken a car on rent for 2 days with the driver, let us say. What is generally the agreement? That it can be per kilometer basis plus, per kilometer basis, correct? Plus all the tolls, parking charges, anything extra recovered from the person who has taken it on hire or rent. isn't it? So they may send one single invoice, bachcho, isn't it, everybody? All of you got it or no? So if he gives it so many kilometers done, then toll charges this we have paid, and any kind of charges we have paid, and that will be added in the value of supply. Important, okay? That will be recovered, but on that GST is also charged. Clear? Because that is part of now value of supply. Clear till here? Payments to third parties. Pay attention. Any amount that the supplier is liable to pay in relation to supply, but which has been incurred, paid by the recipient of the supply, and not already included in the price. We are going to have very funny examples, but yeah, we'll do that. Check here. Okay? Payments to the third parties by the recipient. Okay? Check, I'll give you example. Don't write down the example, because we are going to do that. A is the supplier. Okay? And the agreement is bachcho of let us say 1 lakh rupees. That is also okay. Hi, Anna. Everybody. And bachcho, A is supposed, let us say A is supposed to make some payment to some third party. Let us say C. Are you getting my point, everybody? In relation of this supply from A to B. Okay? Who is the supplier? A is the supplier, okay? He's giving some goods or services to B. So B is going to make payment to A or rupees 1 lakh. Hi, Anna. All of you okay till here? Okay? And out of that 1 lakh, A is going to make some payment to C. Fine? So if some payment is done by B to C, let us say of 20,000. Okay? So if some payment is done by B to C of rupees 20,000, is it okay, everybody? So here what can happen? In this case, A may bachcho raise invoice of only 80,000. Why? Because the liability or obligation of A has been fulfilled by B to the extent of 20,000. Did you understand something or no? A was going to raise invoice of 1 lakh. And on behalf of A, B paid some money. Okay? All of you. So here it may happen that A will bachcho what? Reduce the obviously invoice amount because B has already incurred that amount. Clear? Department says we don't care. You pay to A whatever you want, 80,000 or 1 lakh or 1 lakh 20,000. Value of supply on which we are going to take the tax is 1 lakh. Okay, everybody? Value of supply on which tax will be levied will be what? 1 lakh. Look at this example again, the provisions. Payment to third parties. Now, there is no direct connection in our example between B and C. No direct connection. But because of this, you are paying to the supplier's vendor. Hi, somebody else's obligation you are paying. So any amount that the supplier is liable to pay in relation to supply, but which has been paid by the recipient. Clear or no? Okay, and not already included in the price. That means it is not part of the invoice. So we added back. Understood, everybody? And hi, Anna. We'll be doing examples. Don't worry. Okay, Nitin? Akshay is there or not there? Can you go ahead, everybody? Incidental expenses such as commission and packing, agents, charged by the supplier to the recipient. That is also okay. Packaging charges, commission charges, transport charges, insurance charges. Any amount charged for anything done by the supplier in respect of the supply, at the time of or before the delivery. Anything done, okay, at the request of the recipient also. Recipient has told him to do this, to do that, or get this work done, or get it checked. Any kind of certification, qualification, any kind of you can say approval, on that particular goods. All that bachcho will be what? Covered in the value of supply. Interest or late fee or penalty for delayed payment. This is covered or no, everybody? You have covered from while your time of supply point of view also, tell me. Hi, Anna. But it is also part of that invoice. Part of means category, part only, yeah. Done? Any amount charge. Subsidies directly linked to the price, but other than subsidies given by state or central government. This is part of consideration, or we had covered that in consideration, I think. If government bachcho gives you subsidies, that time we exclude. We don't add it in the value of supply. Okay? But if anybody else bachcho has given subsidies, it is part of the supply. I'll give you an example. Ready? Let us say the ICA also has this example. ICA and its students. And let us say which it was I think HP laptop. Okay, everybody? This is just an example. Now, pay attention, don't write down. If the HP company, their company sells the laptop to the students or whatever, to any third party, then the price bachcho is 50,000. Just for the sake of example. Okay, all of you? Hi, Anna. Let me write down here 50,000 here. But as per the scheme by ICAI, they say students, for you 25,000. Correct, Ilya? Now, the company is not going to make loss. So, the supply is to students and the money bachcho is also being recovered from students. But ICAI also in this example is going to sponsor. This is subsidy only, na? So ICAI to students is subsidy only. Are you getting my point or no? It's 25,000. Yes, still all of you? Now the company is not selling laptops to ICAI, but here they are giving subsidy to the students. But now the subsidy bachcho is by government scheme? No. What is the value of supply? 25,000 or 50,000? $50,000. Understood? If it was bachcho government here, CG or SG, then 25,000. Understood? Government subsidies you can reduce, and that is not an issue. That government subsidy you don't have to add in the value of supply. All of you okay here? Samjha? So be careful. Done? Chalo. Taxes other than GST and GST compensation cess. That is okay. Check here. Example. If supplier of goods pays municipal tax in relation to the goods being supplied and charges the same separately. Okay, till here? That means in the earlier case also, or any example, we used to have octroi. Or today also, but when you again use a cab and you go to cantonment area, you have to pay some charges to enter the cantonment area, any kind of commercial vehicle you're taking inside. Okay, so that is again bachcho recovered. Okay, from the recipient, that is added in the value of supply. Oh, TC, because this is also tax. Look at the wordings here. Any tax apart from GST, we add in the value of supply. Clear? It is shown in invoice. And again, if at all I am selling a car for more than rupees 10 lakhs, I collect or TCS. I collect but TCS. Right? TCS is collected. The word itself is what? Collected. So if at all, just for the sake of example, my car is of 15 lakhs. Hai na? Plus, bachcho, I do what? 1% TCS. Are hi, Anna. What is this? 15,000, na? This bachcho is not added in the value of supply. That clarification is given here. Check. So TCS under income tax, bachcho not includable in the value of. These notifications are important from exam point of view. Huh? From syllabus point of view, they are important. Okay. Clarified that. CBIC clarified that. For the purpose of determining value, TCS bachcho would not be includable in the value of supply. Clear, all of you? है ना. That is a doubt, ना, genuine doubt बच्चों. It is a taxable value of supply. Tax value supply is there. So which amount to charge tax, है ना. What is the value of supply? So answer will be in this example 15,000 only, not addition of answer will be 15 lakhs only, and we don't add 15,000. Okay, for value of supply under GST. Payment to third parties, we have covered that. We have written, we have seen the law. We'll check examples. Payment made to third parties by recipient on behalf of supplier in relation to supply. Okay. A supplier may need to incur various expenses in order to make the supply. Supplier bachcho may be also purchasing something na, to make the further supply. In normal course, he would pay these and they would form part of the price that he charges from the customer. However, even if customer makes direct payment to some of such liabilities to third parties and the supplier does not include this amount in his bill, it will still form part of value of supply. A point to note here is that amount paid by the recipient to the third parties will be added to the value under this clause only when the supplier is under obligation to make payment to third parties and the said payment is in the relation of supply. Then that means basically your entire definition of supply should be satisfied. Which one? The liability. So let me say what example I've given you. A to B, na. A was the supplier. Clear earlier? So when will we bachcho add in the value of supply? When bachcho B makes payment to C. Hai na? That was our example. So this will be added in the value of supply, but only when A was, there are two cases now. A was liable to pay to C. Hai na? That is the point number 1. And second, bachcho, the payment to C, I mean A is liable to C, okay, in relation to or in respect of the supply made to B. It means bachcho, it is a connected transaction. It is what? A connected transaction. Hai na? C to A and then A to B. Are you getting my point or no? C to A and then A to B. Two cases, bachcho. I'm repeating again. 2 points should be satisfied. What? In this example, supplier A is first of all liable to make payment to C. That is okay. But it is also liable to make the payment because of making supply to B. See, there are 3 independent parties. A, B, C are independent. Hai na? Now C may have given to A lots of supplies in history, in previous cases. Hai na? But which will be we are considering here? Only that supply which is made by C to A, which is also used by A in making the supply to B. We'll check an example. Okay? Pay attention, bachcho. Grand biz contracts. Grand biz. Okay. Contracts with ABC company to conduct a dealer's meet. In furtherance of this, Grand biz contracts with vendors to deliver goods like water, soft drinks, audio system, projector, catering, flowers, etc., food, etc. at the venue on stipulated dates. In our example, Grand biz is A. Hai na? Grand biz. And who is the ABC company here? Okay, ABC company. And here they have lots of vendors here. Flower, decorator, music system, and catering, everything. Understood? Hai na? So all these vendors are going to give service to A. Hai na? And then A in a single contract or a single invoice is going to charge to B. Is it okay, everybody? Now here, Grand Biz is liable to make payments na, to the vendors. Yes or no? Grand Biz is going to make payment to vendors. The contract is between vendors and A, vendors and the Grand Biz, and second contract is between Grand Biz and company. Hai na? Clearly, is there a connection or no now? There is a connection. Okay? Vendors to Grand Biz and Grand Biz to ABC company. Clear? There has to be connection. Only then these cases what we're discussing is relevant. The soft drink, now pay attention. The soft drink supplier wants payment upon delivery. ABC company, the recipient here, okay, agrees to pay the bill raised by soft drinks vendor on Grand Biz on receiving the crates of soft drinks. This amount is not billed by Grand Biz to ABC company. Everything logical. Are you getting my point or no? The vendor said, pay attention. You understand event management company, है ना? What do they do? Grand biz. What do they do? Event management. Have you seen that movie? Which movie it is? Ranveer Singh, Anushka Sharma. Their first movie. That's something about band baja barat. Yeah. What do they do? They provide entire services, packages. If at all you remember that. Actually, you hate movies. Okay. So they provide all the services. Food. Now again, for example, I'll discuss that only. No. If they are event managers, they बच्चों do all the service providing. Okay. Who is the client customer बच्चों here? ABC company. Now ABC company is going to contract only one party. They tell I want this event. Now you do whatever you have to do. Now Grandbiz themselves may not be expert in all the fields, but ABC has बच्चों contract with Grandbiz. Is okay that we have a function. You have to arrange the function. Arrange, है ना? So generally, what all services event management company gives? Security, food, decoration, parking, what? Management, invitation also. That also they handle. Everything. Correctly, lighting, lighting, everything done. So that services. But now your grand biz, they don't have so many employees that they are providing all of that. They get the bachcho services done through various vendors. Yes, still here. Vendors, you understand? Huh? So security, they hire a security agency. They hire a flower decoration expert. They hire a DJ for music system. है ना? They hire बच्चों catering services of somebody, some restaurant or some hotel. Yes, till here? Now there can be various vendors A, B, C, D. Clear till here? Now this must you understood. Means companies hiring vendors and providing service. Grand biz. Grand biz. So the contract here is between check now. This is a contract between grand biz and vendors, na? That is what an event management company does, na? They find the vendors and get the work done. From customer's point of view, client's point of view, they are going to deal only with this party, grand biz, nobody else. All of you okay till here? Yes. Now use common sense. You tell me, who will raise invoice on who? Grand biz will raise an invoice on ABC company after charging its own commission, profit, everything. Now ABC company doesn't know how much Grand Biz is making profit and all of that, no, for their headache. Grand Biz is going to send one single invoice to ABC, okay? And what about this? All these parties are going to separately send invoices to Grand Biz. This much also you agree? Catering wala is only concerned with catering bill. Flower decoration, my flower decoration bill. Music system, this is my charges. Understood? Okay. So here you understood Grand Biz is liable to make payment to the vendors. Now, this entire chain is for a single event, let us say. है ना? So they are connected. These transactions are connected. Use common sense now. Grand Biz is liable to make payment, let us to vendor A. Yes? Look at the liability. Or is ABC company liable to make payment to A? Who is liable to make payment to A? Grand Biz. Yes, still here? Liability. Yes? Another thing, second condition, what did I say? Or second point, what did I say? The liability of Grand Biz to make payment to A is in connection with supply. What supply? Grand Biz to ABC. That supply. Okay? Grand Biz to ABC. Bachcho. Clear till here? In connection with that supply, Grand Biz is going to make payment to A. Understood or no, all of you? Tell me. Clear? So understand. Look at the example. What are they saying? The soft drink supplier, one of the vendors, wants payment upon delivery. Hai na? Now, which event is happening at ABC's company's premises or hall or whatever, we don't know that. Okay, forget that. Okay. In the example, check now. ABC agrees to pay the bill raised by soft drinks vendor on Grand Biz. The invoice is raised by soft drink vendor on Grand Biz. ABC agrees to make the payment. Okay, on receiving the delivery. So common sense, but so this amount is not billed by again Grand Biz 2 company, na? So this for the sake of example, if this soft drink vendor bachcho had raised invoice of 20,000, on Grand Biz, And if Grand Biz has made payment to A, then बच्चों logically Grand Biz बच्चों would have also added that amount of 20,000. हाँ या ना? Okay? But what is happening? Even if बच्चों A has given the service, the soft drink vendor has given the service of soft drinks 20,000, Grand Biz is not making payment. Okay? Who made payment बच्चों? Understand? Supplier's liability, है ना? For ABC company, vendor A is third party. So payment to third party against which the supplier was liable to pay in connection to supply. Understood or no? Since ABC has already paid the money that in respect to the supply, that amount will again not be charged by Grand Base to ABC. All of you okay till here? Okay. However, look at the wordings. However, it would be added to the value of supply provided by Grand Base to ABC for the payment of GST. He will for the value of supply. For the value of supply, we will add. Clear till here? Understood or no? Clear till here? For value of supply, I'm saying. Actually, ABC will not make payment of that 20,000 to Grand Base because they already added. We have already made the payment. But for calculation of value of supply, we will add it because it was in relation of that supply only. Okay? Clear to all of you? So you are in a way they are covering all the ways through which you can reduce your tax liability or reduce the value of invoice. They are trying to cover all of these ways. Cover means plug the loophole. Okay. Next one, incidental expenses. That means to make the supply, what all other expenses you may have to bear? Incidental expenses. So such as commission or packing charge or packing charged by supplier or any understand or anything else done important by the supplier in relation to supply on and before delivery of goods must be added to the value. Okay, lots of examples we have. Check here. Commission, this may be paid to an agent and record from the buyer. Okay, record from the buyer. This will be added. Packing, if charged by the supplier to the recipient, it added. So you are making now I understand mixed supply, composite supply. I'm getting my main money bacho for supplying of goods. But to give that goods bacho, I also have to do other expenses. Or I'm charging that separately in the invoice. I have to add in the value of supply. Inspection and or certification charges is another element that will be added to the value if incurred before or the time of supply and billed to the recipient. Your laboratory or testing charges, food items or medicinal items, and you are making a supply. So the or cosmetics, importantly cosmetics, so here the recipient has to have that let us say surety or assurity of quality control. He said I'll buy it only if there is a certification from a particular department. I'm buying, let us say I'm buying some conditioner. What if there are no chemicals in it or there are chemicals in it? How do I know? So you supply me along with the certificate of this batch. Batch, you understand, a product. Understood? So you're like, okay, we'll provide that also. Now, depending on the buyer's level of strictness, or you can say their level of comfort, they may say, no, I want this certificate also, that certificate also, that this certificate also. From this laboratory, that laboratory, and that laboratory also. Okay? So that is as per buyer's request. Na? So buyer saying, I'm willing to pay, na? But I'll be happy to buy only if these things are done. Okay? So that you're charging, add in the value of supply. Installation and testing charges. At the recipient side will also be added. Being an amount charged for something done. Look at the wording. Anything done on or before supply. Clear still here? Anything done. Weighment charges, but that vehicle I told you, vehicle is weighed on that weigh bridge. What is the weight of the consignment to check that? Loaded item, loaded truck. Loading charges. if charged by supplier, designing charges, etc., incurred before or at the time of supply will also be added in the value of supply if billed on the recipient. Done till here? Freight, obviously transport charges, insurance, obviously will charge it to the recipient. It is added in the value of supply. Okay. Done everybody? When the supplier agrees to deliver the goods at buyer's premises and arranges for transport and insurance, na? Freight, cost, freight and insurance. Something we had na? Cost, freight and insurance. Okay. The contract of supply becomes a composite supply. Main goods, then ancillary bacho, others are what? Transport and insurance. Correct, Lilia? The principal supply, remember na composite, naturally bundled together. The principal supply being supply of that goods. Therefore, bacho, outward freight and transport and insurance also become part of the value of goods. Okay, and they are also taxed at same rate. Which rate? The rate of principal supply that we have already covered, bacho. Now the concepts are merging here and there, है ना? Okay. However, if the contract is for supplies on ex factory basis, what do you mean ex factory? Come at my factory and take it. Then obviously there is no concept of freight and insurance over here. So buyer bacho will pay for the freight and insurance, na? That is not our headache. Yes, that will not be part of our value of supply. Clear? Interest, late fee, penalty bacho added? Yes, added. A supply price at 2000 is made with a credit period of 1 month for payment. Thereafter, interest of 12% per annum is chargeable. The payment is received after lapse of 2 months from the date of supply. So 1 month's interest will be applicable. No? Payment is received after 2 months. Credit period was 1 month. So 1 month's interest charged. Okay. So the amount of interest here you have to calculate then. 2000 into 12% upon 12 months, because there is a delay of 1 month na बच्चों, or 1%. ठीक है? अरे हाँ है ना, 1% 2000 बच्चों 20. Okay. So amount of interest so and so on 2000 for 1 month bachcho is received is 20 rupees. Such interest will be added in the value of supply. That means on this 20 also you have to charge the tax. Clear till here? Value of supply bachcho will be taken as 2020. Is it okay? 2000 original and 20 rupees interest. Assuming. Underline the word. This will again we'll have interesting cases. Assuming the interest to be exclusive of GST. That means you will charge, na? Okay, but you will charge GST on the 20 rupees also. How much will recover, bachcho? You will recover tax on 2020. Okay? Done till here? Subsidies, but we have covered just now. I discussed this sometime back, subsidies. If the subsidy is from government, then bachcho we don't add in the value supply, otherwise we add. Let us just quickly check the example. The selling price of a notebook is 50 rupees. Yeah, arm's length price. है ना? For notebooks sold to students in government schools, a company uses CSR funds to pay the seller. Acha. So many people are involved. To pay the seller at rupees 30. Don't get confused. Who is bachcho giving the subsidy on the books? The seller of notebook, the government, or the company using CSR fund? The company which is using CSR fund. Is company government? No. Okay. So that the students will pay only 20 rupees because 30 rupees are now funded by the company. The value of bachcho important. The value of supply will be 50 rupees. As is a non-government subsidy. If the same subsidy bachcho is provided by government of kitna, how much bachcho? 30 rupees. Then the value of notebook bachcho will be 20 rupees. Give 2 stars here. Important. है ना? As it is, I had given you such example sometime back, but yeah, here you can revise. है ना बच्चों? Done till here? then that is what we can reduce. Discounts given afterwards, tell me, we don't reduce. Hi, Anna. Clear till here? That is what we are going to check here. Exclusion of discounts from value. So discounts are a common phenomenon for a business. So we have seen also in supply chapter also, buy one get one, or buy 5 at 5,000, or you'll get a bag or a laptop bag, or more purchases, more discount. Okay. So numerous kinds of discounts are given by the suppliers to their customers, namely trade discount, cash discount, quantity, volume, performance discounts also. Yes, performance to the agents or performance to the your vendors. Such discounts are reduced from the sale price of the supply. Okay, obviously, since value of supply is the transaction value.
Recording stopped.
Screen has issues. Visible, not visible, not no. Just a minute, bachcho. No, not yet. Just a minute. Supplier to the customers are allowed as deduction important. Okay, not all. Only such discounts which satisfy the condition of 15.3 are allowed as deduction. The essence of the condition is that, pay attention, that price as established at the time of supply should form the basis of value. Okay, price is decided beforehand. The discounts which do not fulfill the conditions are not deductible. That is, GST in such a case is levied on the gross value of supply without considering the discount. Obviously, discounts are allowed as deduction from the value are as follows. Discounts which are allowed. Check. Discounts given before or at the time of supply and shown in the invoice. Any kind of arrangement, or you can say arrangement, or again understanding contract after supply, not allowed. So first and foremost, honor before time of supply and shown on invoice. Examples for such invoice can be discount that are offered for making the payment at the time of supply itself, cash discount. Such discounts are thus recorded in the invoice, and thus GST is charged on the gross value, less discount. So allowed. Understood, no? Then over here, bacho, post supply discounts. Understand now. You are giving discount after supply, but the agreement arrangement has been done beforehand. I repeat, when are you giving the discount? After supply. Okay, that you do good sales. I mean, I'm telling to my agent, I'm telling to my agent, you do the sales of 1 lakh in this month, I'll give you more discount, or I'm giving a performance discount. That means if you achieve your target in this 6 months, then I'll give you a discount. Yes, Chalia. So, but agreement is done beforehand or no? Yes, agreement is done beforehand. Actual giving of discount, actually giving it is after supply, because that is the agreement, that it is based on some conditions. It is based on certain event in future. Okay, so check. It is not always commercially feasible to determine all discounts beforehand or at the time of supply and record them on invoice. For example, cash discount is given for making the payment within stipulated time. Even though the discount is established before at the time of supply, the supplier cannot record on the invoice, as it does not know if the buyer will make the payment or not within stipulated time. Likewise, in case of quantity, volume, or performance discount also, the supplier is not aware before the time of supply whether the buyer would purchase the requisite quantity within the stipulated time. That means as per quantity also. The buyer, if you tell the buyer, there is obviously what you can say staggered or stage-wise discounts. It is always there in many cases, bacho. You buy one item, no discount. You buy two items, 5% discount. You buy three items, 20%, 10% discount. So depending on quantity, na. Clearly here. So you don't know right now whether the buyer will buy those many items or not in the year. Therefore, in such case, initially GST is paid on the gross value, whatever you are giving it to him right now, okay, without considering discount. The supplier, however, passes the discount to the buyer subsequently by issuing credit note. Credit note, but increases or decreases the liability? Tell me now. Because that but discount is connected to the invoice. So we are not issuing a revised invoice or anything like that, है ना? But we are amending the details of the invoice by issuing off credit note. हाँ है ना बच्चों? Is it okay, everybody? Tell me. Post supply discounts, that is discounts that are given after supply is made are allowed as deduction from value of supply if following two conditions are satisfied. Star mark. Very important, huh, bachcho? Discount is in the terms of an agreement that existed at the time of invoice, and you can calculate that invoice wise. That for this invoice, how much discount I can give, or for next invoice, when were you eligible? So invoice wise, but we can calculate the discounting. But important, first of all, agreement done at or before the supply, and you can calculate invoice wise discounts. Okay, calculation can be done that way. And understand, important now, very important. Proportionate ITC has been reversed by the recipient. Okay, understand. Before. Pay attention, bacho. है ना? I'm saying before and after. Invoice of 1,000 and plus tax. Is it okay, everybody? Let me say 18%, so 180. Are hi, na? So this was the invoice of the seller. The buyer, bacho, claimed ITC how much? 180. Agree till here, all of you? But there has been a discussion of, you can say, a post-supply discount. Clear till here? That agreement was there beforehand, and the buyer has fulfilled the condition, etc. Therefore, seller, bacho, let us say, has given on this 20% discount. Understood or no? Are hi, na? Therefore, credit note, bacho, let us say, I'm writing a discount at the rate of 20% of 200 rupees. Clear till all of you? What is the effective buying price for the buyer? 800. हाँ है ना बच्चों? But he has claimed ITC on 1,000. हाँ या ना? Are you Shweta Nayak? All of you, are you getting my point? The effective buying price for the buyer is 800. But he has claimed, bacho, ITC on 1,000. So the buyer, we need to reverse ITC on rupees 200. हाँ या ना? All of you okay till here? Bacho, that is rupees, in a way, let us say rupees 36, na? Correct, na? If I have taken 18%. Clear till here, all of you? How much initially, bacho, I had claimed ITC? 180. Out of that, bacho, I'll reverse 36 rupees. I means the buyer. Check, see. Let us talk about before and after, na? Just a minute, bacho. My student from Goa has come to Pune. Anyways, pay attention, Nitin. Original invoice was how much? 1,000. Correct? Seller charged 18% 180 as tax. Now, at the time he issued this invoice, he did not know whether buyer will buy more or no, whether buyer will be eligible for post supply discounts or no. Okay, everybody. So this is the final, let us say, from seller's point of view. Yeah, na? And the buyer was also that time immediately claimed ITC. Seller has filled GSTR1, e-invoice, what or invoice, whatever. He has shown supply of 1000 and tax of 180. Okay, and seller has shown that in the outward returns, etc. Buyer but also that time immediately claimed ITC of 180 rupees. This is okay. After 6 months, 5 months, whatever, buyer has fulfilled those conditions, whatever, and buyer got the discount. Okay, this means now you're understanding. So how much discount? Let us say. Let us say the seller had agreed for 20% discount, 20% before taxes. So if now if the seller is giving 20% discount, that is 200 rupees now. Effective buying price for buyer is how much? Effective buying price for buyer is 800. Huh. So normally even buyer should had claimed ITC on 800 rupees only. Hey, but he has claimed ITC on 1000 rupees. So has he taken excess credit or no right now? Yes. So we'll need to reverse the excess credit. Got it? Okay. Now how do we give the discount after supply? By issuing credit note. Credit note bachcho reduces your liability. The seller's liability is reduced na? Yes or no? So here bachcho, if it is as good as refund, credit note is what bachcho? As good as refund, or credit note is bachcho as good as opposite of sale. So even bachcho from buyer's point of view, he'll have to reduce the excess credit which he had claimed. Clear? So what are the dual conditions bachcho? That credit note was issued and agreement to discount was done beforehand, and that discount bachcho can be traced back invoice wise. Traced back means what? Traced back means calculated invoice to invoice basis. Yes, Chelia? And secondly bachcho, the buyer has also reversed the excess ITC. Clear till here bachcho? Are हाँ या ना? Done till here? We'll see example obviously on this. Is it okay, bachcho? So proportional ITC is reversed by the recipient. Supplies output tax liability will be reduced by the same amount. Check here. If any of the following conditions, if any of the above conditions are not satisfied, the GST liability of the supplier cannot be reduced. Okay. The supplier, however, can issue a normal commercial credit note for the value of discount. See, pay attention. What are we talking about? Business is separate and GST law is separate. Okay. If you want to issue a credit note and you want your liability to be reduced, seller's, the supplier's liability, then you have to follow bachcho all the conditions like over this. Fine till here? But any of the conditions are not followed, then your liability will not be reduced. But you can still issue a credit note. Nobody can stop you from issuing a credit note. But that will not result into reduction of supplier's liability. Okay? A normal bachcho credit note can be supplied. That is why they are using the word bachcho commercial credit note. Okay? Check. A commercial credit note is not governed by GST law and is issued only for the value of the discount or reduction in the value of supply, but without any GST. So commercial credit note has no impact on GST. Are you getting my point or no? Means, let us say, I'll repeat, no problem. If any of these conditions are not satisfied, the seller bachcho still gives a credit note to the buyer. Hi na? But a normal credit note. That means buyer bachcho can take some benefit of the 200 from the seller in future. But such a commercial credit note, in that case, bachcho, his liability will not reduce. That means seller's liability was still 180. And so accordingly, even the buyer is still going to claim credit on, buyer is also going to claim credit of 180 only. No changes of this, okay? Reduction of liability and reduction of reversal of ITC credit. No, nothing will happen then. In case of commercial credit note. Yeah, GST on 1000 only. GST will be on 1000, correct. After that, no impact. Seller's liability 180 and buyer's ITC also 180. No change in that. Clear till here? But a commercial credit note means what? Buyer has a right against the seller of 200 rupees. Understood? To maintain the relations, to do the business. That in that case, seller bachcho can still issue a normal commercial, we are going to call it as commercial credit note, which has no impact on GST. Okay, if you want, you can just write down there. It is given also here. Has no impact on GST. That is, supplier's liability is not reduced. Finally, all of you, this as it is, but we are not even going to show anywhere in the GST return. It is outside the world of GST, realm of GST, okay? Has no impact on GST. That is, supplier's liability is not reduced. Okay, everybody? Done or no? All of you okay till here? Nathan? In such a scenario, if a commercial credit note is bachcho issued, in such a scenario, the buyer will not be required to reverse any input tax credit. So what was done originally was done. No changes in that as such. Done? Let us check some cases and then we'll go to examples. Ready? Chalo. Allowability of certain specific types of discounts offered by suppliers as clarified by circular. So circular, I'm telling you, bachcho, in income tax or even GST, always be careful. Okay? There's just clarification. Staggered, stage wise. Buy more, save more. In case of staggered discount, the rate of discount increases with increase in purchase volume. For example, one may get 10% discount for purchases above 5,000. Okay. 20% discount for purchase above 10,000, so and so. Such invoice discounts are shown on the invoice itself, no problem. Now here the offer was already given a discount at the time of supply. It is already displayed. Hi Anna. And it's also recorded on the invoice, hai na? So such discounts are excluded from the value of supply. No problem. Periodic or year ending discounts or volume discounts. These discounts are offered by suppliers to their stockists. For example, get additional discount of 1% if you purchase 10,000 pieces a year. Get 2% if 15,000 and so and so. Such discounts are established in terms of an agreement. There is an agreement entered into or before the time of supply, though not shown on the invoice, as the actual quantity of such discounts get determined after the supply has been effected and generally at the year end. So all the accounting balancing is done at the year end. In commercial language, such discounts are colloquially referred to as volume discounts. Such discounts are passed on by the supplier through credit notes. No issue. That is okay, bachcho? Such discounts are excluded to determine the value of supply, provided they satisfy those criteria. Which criteria? Proportion ITC is reversed and you can trace it back invoice wise, hai na? Reversal of ITC by the recipient of the supply as is attributable to discount on the basis of document issued. Secondary discounts. These are discounts which are not known at the time of supply or are offered after the supply is already over. Okay? For example, Messrs A supplies 10,000 packets of biscuits to Messrs B at 10 rupees per packet. Afterwards, Messrs A revalues it at rupees 9 per packet. So the seller बच्चों reduce the price itself or give a discount of rupees 1 after supply. So subsequently A issues a credit note. Such secondary बच्चों discount shall not be excluded. है ना? Why? Because just now we saw the conditions बच्चों. It was not known at the time of supply. है ना? And see, again they are repeating again same thing. Even if a GST credit note cannot be issued, you can still issue बच्चों commercial credit note which has no impact on GST. That is okay. Is it okay, everybody? अरे हाँ है ना? Examples of discount deductible from value of supply. Ready? Royal Biscuit company gives a discount of 30% on the list price. Listing price is okay. Your display price to its distributors. Thus, for a carton of spice bisc in the invoice list, 30% on list price. So it is already eligible. No? It is already known. Thus, for a carton of spice bisc in the invoice list, price is mentioned as invoice. Acha. The list price is mentioned as 200 and 200 bachcho into 30%, 60 rupees discount is given. So final price 140. This is obviously allowed as discount because both the conditions are satisfied. What bachcho? It was known, है ना bachcho? I mean, at least though it was known and shown in the invoice. है ना? It was known at the time of supply and also shown in the invoice. Done. Allowed at the time of supply and shown in the invoice. Post supply. Post supply bachcho, be little bit careful with the examples. Ready? The agreement of Raju Electrical Appliances with this dealer is that purchase of rice cookers over 1,000 pieces in Diwali month will entitle them to discount of 5% per cooker. This condition is told beforehand. Yes, you will tell before Diwali only, na. Therefore, the quantum of discount can be determined only at the end of Diwali month. ठीक है. However, since the agreement related to discount was in existence at the time of supply and discount can be worked out for each invoice, है ना? Such post supply bachcho discount can be allowed by issuing of credit notes. Yes, Celia? For 5% of the value of goods along with GST and claim adjustment of excess tax paid. That means supplier's liability will reduce and the recipient bachcho has to reverse input tax credit proportionately. The dealer must reverse the buyers must reverse the ITC proportion on relevant stock, on that stock na bachcho for which you are taking the benefit to bring it in line with the reduced tax. ठीक है? Pink and Blue Private Limited sold goods to Orange Private Limited on 15th January at 5,000. On 15th January at 50,000 rupees. Exclusive of taxes and discounts. Okay. Exclusive of taxes and discount. This is before taxes amount. Okay. And charged rupees 9,000 as IGST. ठीक है? 18%. ठीक है? The terms of supply stipulate that discount at the rate of 2% will be given if it makes the payment within 1 month. No problem. Condition told beforehand. हाँ है ना? OPL avails the input tax rate of 9,000 in the month of Jan, or you can say for the month of Jan, okay? And makes payments for the goods on 10th February. That is fine, no issues. PBPL issues credit, so makes the payment on 10th Feb, na? Okay, that is important, na? But why? Because credit period was given 15th January. Within 1 month, payment is done. Condition satisfied. Allowed credit note, discount is allowed? Yes, 2% of 50,000. It's 1,000, na? How much? Correct, na? Are you all with me still, Nitin? Okay. So OPL, where were we? Originally, so it took the credit of 9,000. Okay, everybody? Fine. Now PBBL issues credit note for 1180. How 1180? 1,000 discount and tax on the same. Okay? 1,000 for value of discount and 180 proportionate IGST. Okay? To OPL on 11th February. After receiving the credit note, OPL reverses the ITC or rupees 180 attributable to the discount given by PBPL. PBPL के बच्चों can reduce the GST liability. The seller ना is GST liability for the month of February of the month of February because I told you बच्चों the changes in the GST returns is not or cannot be retrospective. You always have to do it prospectively. Are you getting my point? So I cannot go back and change my return of January. But whenever I issue my credit note on that month or for that month or a little bit ahead, there I can make the changes. So in February, whatever, for the return of for the month of February, I am going to take the effect of credit note. So PPBL बच्चों can reduce the GST liability for the month of February by rupees 180. है कि नहीं बच्चों? We are talking of credit of 180 only na, on 1000 rupees. OPL would have paid who? The buyer. Check here. Originally बच्चों they paid what? 50,000 net of taxes. 9,000 IGST. 1,000 rupees now minus discount and minus बच्चों 180. It is बच्चों obviously as good as what? 49,000 plus 18% na, isn't it? Logically. हाँ ना? You can do that on calculator. It should come to 57,820. Okay, everybody? 57,820. Clear till here? Okay? To PPBL on 10th February. Done till here, all of you? So here, since my cash outflow is already 59,000 from the buyer's point of view, I am taking the benefit how? By getting the credit note. है ना? Fine till here? Okay, this is a good example. Examples of discount not deductible from value of supply. Ready? In the above example only, the pink and blue and orange. If the terms of supply did not provide बच्चों for discount of 2%, okay, please pay attention now, for the payment within 1 month. But PBBL offers such discounts to OPL at the time of payment after some negotiation. ठीक है? So here बच्चों it has no impact. They cannot issue a GST credit note. It can issue a commercial credit note. हाँ है ना? So check. The discount will not be allowed as deduction from the value. Okay? PBBL will issue a commercial credit note for only the value of discount that is बच्चों 1,000. है ना? OPL will not reverse an input tax credit, and PBL बच्चों will not be able to reduce its own GST liability. So OPL would have paid how much? 58,000 total. Yes, tell you all of you. 50,000 plus 9,000 minus 1,000. These बच्चों discounts are also in a way called discounts on gross amount. Okay, this is also done by academies. So when they give you discount, they said we give you 2,000 rupees discount, 5,000 rupees discount, or 5% discount. It is calculated on gross amount. Okay, not on the net amount. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so whatever is my total liability, on that बच्चों I am giving a discount of 1,000. I am not unable to reduce my GST liability. Okay, everybody. A company announces turnover discounts after reviewing dealer performance during the year. The discounts are based on performance slabs and are given as cashback. These discounts were not known at the time of supply. So again, they will not be deducted. Okay, from the value of these goods. Okay, that is okay. Done all of you? Ready? Sure. Where subsection 1 is not applicable, means supplies बच्चों not as per transaction value. Okay, that means what? The transaction is with the related party. हाँ या ना? And or a price is not the sole consideration. You're getting something else also in exchange, maybe some other goods. Then the value बच्चों will be determined as per rules for valuation. Okay. ठीक है? Ready? These rules will be discussed at final level, so forget it. Ready बच्चों? Black and White Private Limited has provided following particulars relating to goods sold by it to Colorful Private Limited. ठीक है? List price of the goods. Understand now. List price is your, you can say your MRP or your display price. Okay, list price. 50,000 of the net of taxes. Tax levied by municipal authority on sale of such goods, 5,000. And packing charges not included in the above price, 1,000. What is your value of supply? We will add all of them, bacho. 56,000. Okay. Now, Black and White received a subsidy of 2,000 from NGO on sale of such goods. Will we reduce? No. Because it is from NGO, not government. The price of 50,000 of the goods is after considering such subsidy. Add back. Are हाँ या ना? The price of 50,000 of the goods, बच्चों, after considering such subsidy. No. We add back, बच्चों, then. अरे हाँ या ना? Clear till here, Nitin? Mansi, understood? No. Look at, see. List price given to you how much? 50,000. Okay? Fine till here? They are going to sell at 50,000 normally. But look at the wordings. There is some 2,000 rupees subsidy received from NGO on sale of such goods. That is, you are going to get benefit, or you can say subsidy of 2,000. Hi, Anna. Clear till here? Now, since it is, the subsidy is given by NGO, do we reduce or don't reduce? From consideration, we don't reduce, correct? So we don't reduce, no? We will not reduce. But look at the next sentence, no? The price of 50,000 of the goods is after considering such subsidy. Hi, Anna. After considering the subsidy, that means in the calculation 50,000 they have already reduced subsidy, which we should actually not reduce. है ना? समझा? All of you. They are giving you price 50,000 is after subsidy. है ना? But we know we cannot reduce बच्चों subsidy because it is from NGO, not from government. Therefore, बच्चों, you have to add back. Yes? Black and White Limited offers 2% discount on the list price. What is the list price? Hey Bhagwan. Of the goods which is recorded in the invoice. So that we will allow. Determine the value of taxable supply made by Black and White. Okay? Look at the answer. Oy. List price 50,000. Tax levied, we add that. Packing charges, we add that. Look at the subsidy received from non-government, add that. Clear till here? And then bachcho, we will give discount. Discount is also allowed. Check here. On 50,000 they have given, but on the list price. Okay? Since discount is known and also recorded in the invoice. On 50,000 Mansi then. Okay? Because they have not used any other wordings for what is the 50, what are you calling as 52,000. Okay? So take it on 50,000 only. Done till here, that is okay. But what, they have not given you the wordings here. What is actually 52,000? No? 50,000 itself they are calling it as list price. The price of 50,000 is received. They are not use any other term for 52,000. So we are taking list price only as 50,000. Alright. Original price is 52. I agree. But this is literal interpretation. Literal. Okay. What is given on that figure we are doing. List is 50. So on 50. I hope this was clear. Next one. Don't try to look at the answers. Look at the screen only. Samruddhi Advertisers conceptualized and designed. So this services. The advertising campaign for a new product launch for consider 5 lakhs. Samruddhi owed, now pay attention, 20,000 to the one of its vendors in relation to the advertising. Hi Anna. So vendor to Samruddhi 20,000 only na was supply. And Samruddhi Bachu to New Moon. Correct till here. This transaction is 5 lakhs and this transaction Bachu 20,000. Is it okay? Now what example is going to come here? New Moon Bachu made payment to vendor. Hi Anna. Therefore Bachu Samruddhi made an invoice of 4,80,000. Are you getting my point or no? But what will be the value of supply? 4,80,000 plus 20,000. We'll see other examples also. Ready? Chalo, check. Such liability of Samruddhi was discharged by New Moon. Is it okay? New Moon delayed payment of consideration. Oh, and thus paid 15,000 as interest. Assume the GST rate to be 18%. Determine the value of taxable supply. Okay? Pay attention. The consideration what about you 5 lakhs? And interest given to you is 15,000. Now here there can be a couple of assumptions that we will do in some time. But first of all, 15,000 is also part of your value supply. Hi Anna. Yes. And 5 lakhs also? Yes. Good. So check. Service charges 5 lakhs. Yes, clear all of you? Acha, they have not given only, na, but okay. That Samruddhi has reduced the amount. Okay, they have not given that. That Samruddhi raised an invoice of 4 lakh 80, they have not given. Okay. Payment by New Moon to vendor of Samruddhi. Again added back 20,000. Okay. Because it is not given that invoice was raised at 480. Alright. Now, interest for delay in payment of consideration, that 15,000. Okay. But here also they are taking it as 12,712. How? Assumption. Pay attention. Assumption is what? There are two assumptions. 15,000 without GST and what 15,000 includes GST. But 15,000 is overall interest along with GST. So if I reverse calculate, 15,000 divided by, do it on calculator, 15,000 divided by 118%. आया कि नहीं? Okay. Then the amount is 12,712, on that which if I add GST it comes to total of 15,000. Or other assumption is what? 15,000 is only pure interest, no GST. So 15,000. And on that I may charge 18%. So here both the assumptions are okay. Look at the notes. Check here. The interest for delay in payment of consideration will be includable in the value supply. That is okay. We are adding in the value supply is okay. Okay. Such interest has been assumed to be inclusive of GST. So here completely show off by study material also. Okay. So again you also show off that it is not given in the data whether it's inclusive or exclusive. We're assuming it to be inclusive of GST. That's why net of GST was how much? Samjha ki nahi? This is a reverse calculation. And thus the value has been computed by making back calculations. It is possible to assume interest of exclusive GST. So what will be the answer? But this 5 lakh is still the same. This 20,000 is still the same. And 15,000 instead of 12,712. That interest is exclusive of GST. Then the answer is what? 535. Yes or no? So this also okay, alternatively. Done till all of you, tell me. Bolo. Lots of theory questions. For homework I'm giving you for reading. Obviously I'm discussing with you right now. But I wanted you today to finish time of supply and value of supply. Read the bare act, whichever are given in the before in the textbook itself, before the illustrations and this analysis. Today itself do it. Okay. Again make a summary. MTP, RTP and previous year questions. Start solving from earlier exams. Okay. November 22 exams. Yeah, solve it please. GST. It was tough. At least keep it handy with you. Okay. Chalo. Or I have told you that Ahuja Gupta or some book you can use. So start practicing from there if they have good questions. Clear? Are post-supply discounts eligible for reduction post-supply from the value of supplies in all situations? In all situations, no. Then which situations? Agreed beforehand, है ना? And then it is given. But if it is given, then what should happen? The supplier has so agreement beforehand, pre-known, correct. And second बच्चों, the buyer reverses the proportionate ITC. हाँ है ना? Clear? Consideration under GST law includes both monetary as well as non-monetary. हाँ. Discuss correctness or otherwise of the statement with reference to the term consideration. Consider bachcho is again is a big term, okay? Definition of consideration. Past, present, future, in money or in kind also. Chalo, we'll check this some example. Sharp Minds Institute provides coaching for engineering entrance examinations. Monthly fee charged by institute from a student is 10,000. The institute is known for its commitment to provide education to underprivileged children. It trains 10 students every year for entrance exams free of cost. ठीक है. The institute received 3 lakhs as coaching fees during a month. Navjeevan, an NGO working in the area of education for underprivileged children, has given a subsidy of 10,000 in lump sum. In lump sum. It cannot be bachcho directly identifiable for one student or one supply. Look at the wordings in that consideration, okay? Important. That we were talking about that the subsidies, na, it should be linked to every supply. Look at page number 5.64. Check here. It must be noted that only subsidy directly linked to the price of the goods and services are added to the value. Star mark. Blanket means lump sum. Subsidy or donation received are not included in the value. हाँ ना? It has to be per transaction basis. You should be able to, that subsidy should be able to be found out. Okay, all of you? ठीक है? समझा कि नहीं? Check. So here in the example, what is happening? Lump sum is given, na, subsidy of 3 lakhs, 10,000 बच्चों, है ना? During the month to the institute as it is serving the cause of entrepreneur. Determine the value of supply. So no effect बच्चों. During a month. Look at the answer. Value of supply includes subsidies directly linked to the price, excluding subsidies by government. Subsidies given by non-government, the same is not included bachcho, because it is given lump sum and not directly linked to the price. Therefore, whatever it has received in 3 lakhs, that will be the value of supply. Okay. So we don't add back in the value of supply. We will not add. Clear? It was given lump sum and not directly linked to the price of the supply. Okay. Furniture Wala is a chain of retail showrooms selling both modern and classic furniture. Pay attention, modern and classic furniture. In order to build a strong customer association, the showroom provides free delivery of furniture at the premises of the customers if distance is 20 kilometers. This is standard practice. If distance is more than 20 kilometers, the showroom charges concessional freight of rupees 10 for every additional kilometer. Miss Leena Kapoor purchased a double bed or dressing table for 2 lakhs. She wants free delivery of the furniture as her residence is located within 18 kilometers, a distance 18 kilometers from the showroom. Okay, 18 kilometers. The showroom incurs an expenditure of 1,000 for delivering the furniture. Determine the value of taxable supply made by Furniture Wala. Are we adding that rupees 1,000 in the invoice? No, na. Are we adding that? No. Is it already given? It was already part of your. Are you charging to the buyer? No. We are not even showing in the invoice because the distance is 18 kilometers. So allowed. Will your answer change if residence is 50 kilometers away? Then we will have to take up to 20 kilometers exempt, but 30 kilometers. So 30 kilometers into what is the rate? Rupees 10 or what? Rupees 10. per kilometer, additional that we will add 300 rupees but we will add in the amount. Okay, clear till here? Second case, obviously for 300 rupees we are adding, so that will be part of the supply. Okay, AKJ Foods Limited gets an order for supply of processed foods from a customer. The customer wants the consignment tested for gluten and specified chemicals residues. AKJ does the testing before supply and charges a testing fee for the same. AKJ argues that such testing fees should not form part of the consideration for sales since it is a separate activity. Anything done for the purpose of supply on or before supply or on or before delivery is part of बच्चों value of goods. हाँ है ना, value of supply. हाँ है ना बच्चों, tell me quickly all of you. Okay till here? So it is बच्चों part of supply. Clear? A philanthropic association. Philanthropy means बच्चों donation, charity. Okay? Philanthropy is donation or charity. So philanthropic means the entity which does donation charity. Donation charity makes a substantial donation each year to a reputed private management institution to subsidize education of low income group students who have gained admission there. The fee of these individuals is reduced by coming to 3 lakhs a year compared to 5 lakhs for other students. What would be the value of service of coaching and institution provided by the institution? 5 lakhs only. Why? Here, bachcho, discount is given per student wise. That's why per student, bachcho, the fees is coming down to 3 lakhs, but it is not given by government. That's why we don't reduce. Okay, till here? Mazda Banners, an advertising firm, gives its customers an interest-free credit period of 30 days. Its customer ABC for the supply, its customer ABC paid for supply 32 days after supply of service. Mr. Banners waived the interest payable for delay of 2 days. Okay, completely fine. Completely fine. No issue at all. The department wants to add interest. You can't add interest for 2 days for the value of supply. Should notional interest be added? No, we cannot. There is no law like that. You can reduce discount. You can't add. You can't tell the seller to, you have to add in the invoice price. No. Okay? You are completely free to give bacho waiver. Okay, all of you? Look at the answer if you want. Interesting question, but okay? The value supply includes certain elements like interest, which is actually payable. But once waived, the interest is not payable, no? And therefore, it is not to be added in the value. Okay? So, whenever in doubt for this chapter, write that definition of transaction value. Transaction value, supply between 100 persons, price is the only consideration, that is transaction value. But once that interest is waived, it is no more payable. That's why it is not part of the value. Done? Crunchy Bakery Products Limited sells biscuits and cakes through its dealers, to whom it charges the list price minus standard discount and pays GST accordingly. When goods remain unsold with the dealers, it offered additional discounts on the stock as an incentive to push the sales. Can this discount be reduced from the price at which the goods were sold, and concomitant tax, later on future tax adjustment be made? Answer is yes. Why? Because here, when goods remain unsold, it offered additional discount. So this we'll have to take it as it was predetermined or pre-known. Secondly, you can trace back the calculation to per invoice and invoice wise, and the recipient or the dealer has to proportionally reverse the tax ITC claimed. है ना? Done or no, बच्चों? Oh, no, not con. Sorry. the discounts were not known or agreed, then you cannot reduce. All time pass answer they give. ठीक है, star mark this. It cannot be reduced. They should give clearly in the question, okay? It offered additional discount, ठीक है? So here assume, or here in a way you'll have to take it that it was not known, ठीक है? Red pepper, Delhi, a registered supplier is manufacturing taxable goods. It provides following details of taxable interstate supply and made during the month of March. Ready? All of you? List price of taxable goods supplied interstate exclusive tax 15 lakhs. Pay attention now. Subsidy received from central government. Pay attention. For supply of taxable goods to government school. Exclusively related to the supply of goods including serial number 1. So 2,10,000. Will we reduce? Will reduce. Check. No. The list price of the goods is net of 2 subsidies received. Okay. So 15 lakhs bachcho after reducing this 2,10,000, no problem, that we reduce. And subsidy bachcho received from an NGO for supply of taxable goods to an old age home, again for that. Are you getting my point or no? This 15 lakhs bachcho net of subsidies or no? Yes, both the subsidies. Government subsidy is allowed, that NGO subsidy is not allowed. So what is my value of supply bachcho? To begin with, all of you agree? Nitin, 15 lakhs is after a subsidy. So which is not allowed, I am adding it back. 15 lakh 50. Okay. Tax levied by municipal authority, add. Packing charges, add. Late fees paid by recipient of supply for delayed payment of consideration. Recipient has agreed to pay 6,000 in lump sum and no additional amount is payable by him. So this is 6,000 bachos, you will have to do reverse calculation. $5,085. Hi Anna? Good. What are they asking? Calculate total value of taxable supplies. Plus 35,000 plus 15 lakh 50,000. 15 lakh 90,845. I know. So since it is given, he will not pay anything more than 6,000, though it is part of GST. 15 lakh 90,845. Perfect answer, Vancho. Perfect. Star mark this. Since it is lump sum, that is the final figure. That's why we have to just bifurcate. You are not going to get something more than 6,000. You got 6,000. So 6,000 which includes GST is the meaning. Clear? Can I go ahead? Read this answer again, Mrs. Flowpro, a registered supplier, sold a machine to PB Limited. It provides following information. Price of machine excluding taxes and other charges, 25,000. Third party inspection charges. Such charges were payable by Flowpro, but same have been directly paid by PB to the inspection agency. These charges were not recorded in invoice. Add bachcho. So I'm taking here 25,000. Hi Anna. Clear till here? Liability paid to the third party, Freight charges, add. Subsidy received from state government on sale of machine and subsidy is really linked to the price, we reduce that. But what has it said? Exclusive of 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So this is 4. So we have to reduce bachcho. 5,000 again less. Okay. Discount of 2% is offered by PP on the price mentioned in serial number 1. Now here they are giving clear cut. Above and recorded. So, बच्चों 2% off 25,000 है ना 500 rupees. Tell me. Correct or no? अरे बोलो हाँ. So 5 gone 27. 26 500. Is it right? 5 and 5 gone. And 1500 add. 26 500. Is it right बच्चों? Net of subsidy what? Sorry. Price of, oh my goodness. Look at the note. Price of the machine is net of subsidy received. Already subsidy is reduced. Okay. They should have, okay, they have given that. Is it allowed? Allowed. So we'll not do any kind of changes. We'll not further reduce. Okay. Add back that 5,000 also then. 31 500 then. Bolo. $31 500. Yeah. Because here they have given the note. Correct. Price of machine is net of subsidy. So subsidy is already reduced and we allow it to be reduced. So no changes. 31 500 10th. But look at the table na, bacho, properly. Particulars, rupees. Just look at the wording, reasoning and all of that. Okay. So answer in that way only. Why are you adding and why are you reducing? Okay. 11. Sri Krishna Private Limited. A registered supplier furnishes following information relating to goods sold by it to Sri Balram. Price of goods. Excluding taxes and other charges mentioned in 3. Wow, bete. Excluding 5. Late fees. 6. Payment. Price of goods net of subsidy. Huh? Wow. Okay. Net of subsidy. Subsidies from whom? Subsidy received from Sri Ram Trust. Not allowed. Add back. So the बच्चों 1 lakh. ठीक है. Original. I am adding back the subsidy. Is it okay बच्चों? हाँ या ना? The price was net of subsidy ना? Municipal tax. Add back. Inspection charges. Add. This is already done. Late fees for delayed payment inclusive of GST given to you. 1000 divided by 18. Is it 18% given to us? Not given. Take it as 18%. 1000 divided by 18%. 1000 divided by 118%. 847. Whatever you want to take. 847. Okay, everybody? Or 848. ठीक है. Payment charges. Payment 2000. Look at the story and all of that. Na? Such charges were paid by Sri Ram to Radhe on behalf of. So we add only. Na? Where? What waiver? Oh. Okay, look at the story. Sri Balram. Private Limited. Paid the late fees. However, these charges were ultimately waived by supplier and the amount was refunded during the same month. All right. Okay. Let us check the impact. Not taken. We have waiver. Just now we have seen that, no? Waiver, no? But after payment. The waiver is but after payment. Okay. Still, star mark this then. Okay. So 1 lakh. That this we have to add. Municipal taxes add. Inspection charges add. Payment charges but also paid to third party also add. Okay. Only waiver of late fees and refunded don't add. Okay. Refunded waiver. Star mark here. Done. Last one. Kohli Limited, a registered supplier, has supplied machinery to Gisa. Price of machinery exclusive taxes and discounts. Exclusive, okay. Part fitted in machinery at the premises of Gisa. Amount has been paid by Gisa directly to the supplier. However, does Kohli's liability to pay the amount? The said amount has not been recorded. We add back. Correct, Delia? Payment to third party. Insurance charges, testing charges not included in price. Add back. Anything done for the recipient. Discount 2% on the price of machinery mentioned at 1. Recorded in the invoice. 2% but what? 1100? Is it 1100? 11,000. Correct, no? 11,000. Is it right? Then Kohli provides additional discount of 1% at the year end based on additional purchase of other machinery for which adjustment is made at the end of the financial year without any change in individual transactions. So no changes. No changes. Without any change to additional in the individual transactions. Based on additional purchase. Let us check this adjustment also. So 5,50,000 plus 20,000 plus 25,000 minus 11. 584. Let us check. But what is the wordings they have used for the last one? Okay. It is established before the time of supply. It is not deductible as the same is not linked to any specific transaction. And it basically the calculation cannot be done invoice wise, and it's adjusted by the parties at the end of the year. Main reason is what, bacho? Same is not linked to any specific transactions. Okay, you can't do the calculation invoice wise. That's why not allowed. Dandila बच्चों? हाँ बोलो हाँ. So here I told you value supply is also very small chapter. One single lecture is also sufficient for value supply. Okay, all of you? ठीक है? चलो. Revise again for your understanding. See, look at this. This diagram is also quite good. Okay, whatever the diagrams they are given, no, they are also quite good. Revise that. Check that. Read the bare act and start solving about your MTP, PYQ, RP, and your PYQ and RTP and all of that. Okay, for chapter wise now. Okay, बच्चों, at least 6 chapters are kind of I think over from our side right now, है ना? Start practicing for that earlier exams questions also. All right, all of you. Chalo. So that is it for this session. Value supply also over. Next session, we'll start with new chapter. Okay.
Recording stopped.
YouTube वालों